There we go. And just for a little bit. Ugh. Ooh. Good little snack crackle stretch. Tell you what. I just remember that fucking Lucino has the rest of the bud. No. No. That's unfortunate, but whatever. What are you gonna do? I guess we'll see how long this lasts, because I don't know. Probably won't last forever. Or long, like we usually do. We'll see. It's over there. Grind it up. Oh, Vito. Where did Jazzy go, by the way? Oh my fucking god, she's dead. Okay, this is diabolical. She's out. Oh my god. Did someone have a great day at the river? Chunk chunk. Are you a chunk chunk that was happy about the river? Oh, plop. You literal plop monster. Oh my god. Vito boy. Come here, buddy. You sleepy ass little bean. Oh, you boy. Oh my goodness. Man, he was a crazy doge. Oh, river trip. You diabolical bean. You crazy boy. A silly bean, but crazy bean nonetheless. What a good boy. You did lose your harness. He went so crazy in the river literally consumed his harness. Oh, boy. Oh, you silly thing. Ugh. Are you just so crazy that you lose your harness? Blah. Oof. Ugh. Blah. What's up, Ozzy? How you doing, man? First legend. Well, I guess you technically weren't first because Jocelyn Sims was, but the first one to actually make a comment. So I guess you technically get it, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, what's this? Make a Winchester model 1876 chambered in 45-75 Winchester with double X quality straight chestnut wood stock and 26-inch barrel located in undiscovered tribe in the Amazon is your main quest. Homie, I like guns, but I don't know how to make one, especially a Winchester model 1876. Chambered in 45-75 Winchester. Like, homie, that's like you're asking too much of me, dog. Especially like right now, nah, dude. That's way too fucking much. Uh-uh. I'm sorry. Ignore cannot be reached right now. You have to come back and try again later to, reattempt this, transaction. Thank you, and have a nice day. Just a fucking, phone. Dead tone. It's a joke. I know it's a joke. I'm making a joke too, dog. Come on now. What's up, Pocahontas? Do you even know what an indigenous person looks like? Because I'm like the opposite of that, my guy. I'm what you call a quote unquote a colonizer. I ain't indigenous, bro. What? You got eyeballs? Irish? A little bit. I know what a guy looks like. Yeah, I think I'm looking at him too. Holy five head. You think I care? Have you not seen someone that has shocker, a forehead before? Trump 2030? You realize that a general election doesn't happen in 2030, you dipshit. It's 2028 and then it's 2032. That's the next general election. Are you what? Should be able to see yourself on the phone right now. I'm talking about you. I'm bisexual. I know what I am. Evidently, you don't. So, that ain't my problem. But evidently, you have a little bit of an interest, regardless. That's why you're so fixated on whether a man is gay or not. Why is that a big deal to you? Probably because you might be into that. You can see me. Your chats. Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually in your closet right now, peering through the, the little slits of the closet, just be like, yeah. That's what I'm doing, actually. You realize that your closet is a 4-dimensional space. Your door to the closet is, right there. It's a 4-dimensional space. The text looks gay. No. But I can potentially infer your projection of what your sexuality is because you evidently think I'm gay, even though I'm bisexual. So, not exactly correct. And you apparently got a fixation about it. I know what a gay looks like. I'm looking at him. Got a little bit of an interest to it. It's called basic observation, about what you're saying. My perception is distorted. Okay. I'm just reading what you're saying and basically reacting to that and inferring, from what you're saying. If that's a problem, might want to rephrase what you're saying. Just saying. Calm down, lady. I'm not even talking to you, Churchill. Who are you? What? I also love the fact that there are so many people that unironically think I'm trans. No, you're just like a woman, bro. Totally. If you're a Transformer, your name would be Optimus Fine. What? What? Oh my god. You know what? I normally be like, wow, that is so cringe and cacky, but it made me laugh. I can't even shit on it. It made me laugh. God damn it. What the fuck, dude? What's your husband? He's getting his asshole ready to be blue blasted. Because he's gonna be a nice, good pregnant man with my good old girl dick. Pregnant men and girl dicks, pregnant men and girl dicks. Ain't nothing you gonna do to stop it. Yeah, I'm just clowning. I figured you kind of were anyway. When did I transition? After I fucked your mom last night. It was such a rapacious, like, awful, like, oh god, this is terrible, that I literally had to transition myself to just, like, get rid of my dick, dude. I had to get rid of it. Be like, yeah, my dick is permanently stained, bro. Like, I had to get rid of it. I mean, not everything is quite set in stone. There's plenty of, HRT and other shit that still needs to be done. The tits haven't shown yet, but I had to, like, jump the gun and just get surgery, bro. Your mom's fucked, dude. She gave me a lot of money, man. I mean, you know what? I couldn't turn that down. I'm a hustler, Money's money. You know what they say, $20 is $20. Did you always know you wanted to be a woman? Oh my god. Dude, people think I'm being fucking serious right now? Holy shit. You would think that my obviously dumb fucking story would prove that I'm not, and I'm making fun of that whole idea because I'm not trans, you dummies. I'm support trans rights, but holy fuck, like, wow, you never seen a dude with long hair before? Have you not, like, I don't know, seen, like, most contemporary rock bands back in their heyday and their peak? Have you not seen, like, hair rock and hair metal? I mean, like, huh? Holds a hole in 20s to 20. Exactly. When it comes down to that hustle, sometimes, just gotta recognize what it is. You have insect arms. Why do you care about what my arms look like? Yeah, I'm not like a beefcake. Wow, like, amazing observation. I'm not like some toned out, muscly beefcake. Wow, amazing observation there you got, buddy. Nor do I necessarily want to. I don't mind, the fact that my arms aren't real, like, fucking, like, beefcake arms. Would have, like, a little more muscle on it, sure. But I'm happy the fact that they're not, like, fucking ridiculously huge. I like the way they are, just with maybe a little bit more muscle definition, but that's all. Just means I gotta do a little bit more of these and shit like that. You see the winner of a global air guitar tickets trophy? It was an air guitar. Oh, dude, I have seen those air guitar contests. I will admit, I actually kind of weirdly have to suitably respect it because I've looked up some of these people before, and they are guitarists, and that's why they tend to get graded because like there are actual musicians. Like, are you actually being technical with what you're doing, and like it's at least somewhat in tandem to what's being played, even though you aren't playing an instrument. I mean, it's the same thing, like, because I had to do this when I was playing trumpet with jazz and shit like that. Like, if you're, having to more practice, like, kind of shit, but not use the instrument, you would still, like, hold the instrument and then still, like, have your notes that you're playing, even though you're not literally playing it. So, I mean, I can kind of get it to an extent, but yeah, it is a little silly when there's like contests and shit like that, bro. It's like, man, pipe down a little bit. Like, that's a little. I get the technicality shit, but it's like, chill out. You know what I mean? Like, chill the fuck out a little bit. You got nothing. That's even more extra, dude. That's even more diabolical. Like, give him an actual trophy, like a cool actual guitar, or even a statue of somebody like air guitaring something that's like shredding. You know what I mean? Like, literally anything. But nah, you literally get this, imaginary trophy, and you're like, yeah, I have nothing, bro. It's like, nah, that's lame. I swear to God, if they don't give him at least an official trophy, like after it's all said and done, like I get it for the bit. Like you won, and then you get the imaginary air guitar, and you're like, yeah. But then later, after the pomp and circumstance, you actually get something as a reward. I would actually give it a pass. So, but I guarantee you that didn't happen. They're just like, fuck it. You just don't get anything. Do you have any boots with laces on? What, boots? Yeah. I don't understand what you're trying to ask about that, dude. Huh? Lots of bands basically do that anyways. Back tracks, you're not really playing. That does happen. There are bands that have been caught literally like lip syncing and not actually playing the music that's being played. That is kind of lame as fuck. I only will give exceptions if there's like backing, shit where you just don't have anyone to play that. So you have like, something that you're like, all right, boop, you press play and the song starts, and you're at least to some degree you have to at least follow that backing track no matter what. But realistically, the track is following you, right? But at least it is maintaining a beat, so to speak. So it's like it's kind of a little give and take a little bit, especially for like some rap artists I have seen live. They usually will have stuff like that where they're just rapping over beats that, where there's no other musicians, and maybe there's a few of them. Maybe they throw a guitar out and, throw some shit occasionally, but for the most part, they just do their own thing singing while the backing beats are there. You know what I mean? Like, which is fine, honestly. Like, and arguably, a lot of the songs that are studio recordings that I see live that at least I have seen are way better. The studio recordings, don't really give that oomph like you're seeing it live. You know what I mean? So even with that in mind, it's still a fun, awesome experience. It just depends if like they're lip syncing slash like not giving a fuck anymore, because the industry is like, yeah, we recognize that your contract still need to do tours, you need to do this and that, and we don't care about if you literally can't do it or not. Like, lip sync it for all we care. We'll pay you a little more to do it. Like, we don't care, kind of shit. Even one of my favorite bands, Rammstein, has been caught doing that every so often. Even a System of a Down, when I saw them live in Chicago, they avoided it as much as possible, but there were legitimately points where I'm like, I'm hearing, Serge Tankian's voice, even though you walked away because his voice, you can't do as much as he can anymore, because he has some backing track vocals a little bit added to what they were doing, while Damien was taking more of the predominant vocal role at certain points, which I don't mind. It did not take away from the concert or the performance at all. I recognize that, like, Tankian couldn't, like, perform like he used to, especially with his, voice and his health with his throat and shit being the way it is. I get it. But, when there's artists and bands out there that don't have an excuse like that, it's a little shitty. It genuinely is shitty. I'd rather see them perform and be a little fucked up versus them lip syncing and faking it. I've seen Marilyn Manson with the Twins of Evil tour back in 2019, and Manson was straight up drunk as shit, and a lot of his stuff was a little, not really not pronouncing much, and just being like, like he was lit, bro. Did it take away from the performance? Probably to an extent, but I was fucking with it. I was enjoying it. I didn't care. It was fun. because he wasn't fucking off, with lip syncing shit. He was still being who he was, even though he was fucked up. I literally would prefer that because at least, there's still some authenticity to it. I mean, I'll grant that at least, You play music if you so it's cool. I mean, I do play music, yes. I'm a musician myself, which is also why I, have a little bit of an extra, you know, I don't know, position around it, I suppose. Just because I have no actual knowledge about music and performing, because I've done performances and concerts and stuff myself, not in the traditional sense of like, you know, you got a band with a guitar, bass, drum, and then the vocal guy, like I've only done that one time for like a college performance class that we've done, but that's about it. I've done like jazz performances, symphonic band performances, all sorts of other stuff, but not to the full end. Like, I'm doing like, rock slash like punk band thing or something like that. Not yet, at least. I'll always put that caveat. Hopefully soon that'll happen. Be a great kazoo player. Unironically, why the fuck not, bro? I mean, if you actually know how to fuck around with kazoo, like legitimately, it can have its place. There's a punk band that unironically literally had kazoos for a song where a vocalist and I think one of the bassists, or at least one of the guitarists, and it was either the bassist or like one of the or their guitars, one of the two, where they literally had like one of those kazoos like set up on their mic, where the mic was over here, but they had this little separate thing where the kazoos was shown there, and then we like, kind of doing that shit. They were a little bit more rough with it, but the actual vocalist was holding on to it and be like actually doing like some cool rhythm stuff and shit. I was like, this is actually weirdly like cool as fuck for being such a weird instrument to throw out at a concert. Is it, unorthodox and probably, a little bit more annoying than other instruments that have been used before that I've seen? Sure, but it worked. It worked for what it was. I even remember going to a concert literally the very next day where one of the bartenders that was working the night before I happened to, show up after that show ended, be like, how'd you feel about the show last night? Were you there for it? And they were like, honestly, I loved it, but that one band that had the kazoos annoyed the fuck out of me. I was there like, I actually kind of like that band. The kazoo shit was interesting and honestly was cool, but was unorthodox. I totally get you, but bruh. I was like, bruh. I was like, come on, dude. That was at least an unorthodox, cool thing that, you just don't normally see on a daily basis. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta at least, admire the factor of like, hey, we're doing something different and unique. You know what I mean? Never heard anyone defend the kazoo. Because it's not like, yeah, because people know of it being like, just blasting it without a fuck in the world. So it's an annoying, sound. But if you actually actually try to play it like an instrument, it's not really that terrible of a thing. It just has a obviously like annoying noise. But there's plenty of instruments out there that are meant to have a very specific noise to it. Kazoo ain't no different. The vuvuzela is the same thing. And plus there's like plenty of other instruments, out there like that. I mean, some people think the bagpipes are fucking annoying instruments, which I'm like, huh? Excuse moi? Did you have a set where your wife queefs in a kazoo? Nice. I think I need a kazoo. I'd rather have a harmonica, personally. But, yeah, why not? A question. You don't have to say that. Just ask the question. Just shoot the question, man. Who's my handler? Nobody. Me, myself, and I. Play the trumpet like a bomb, blow on it. Hardy har har. Never been a mod. Can you make me one, please? I don't even know you, dog. If you stick around long enough and you're cool as fuck and I like you, then maybe. But I also have a lot of them anyway. I got a lot of mods. I mean, I kind of need to take a break from adding people as my mods. Better not be one of those brainwashed fake commies. Okay. I mean, I'm not a communist, but I'm definitely a left. Huh? A brainwashed fake com. What do you even mean, dude? I'm kind of curious what you even mean by that. No, those Westerners that I think they live, that I think there are communists but live materialistic lives in capitalist society. Well, I mean, I recognize I live in a capitalist society and I can't escape that as it stands for right now, unfortunately. But I'm definitely not on any idea that, like, yeah, you know, this idea that, like, at least for me personally, I'm a communist, or inherently, like, obviously, like, uh follow in the footsteps of what I advocate for, because there's a lot of things that I do that are more like long-term avocations. You know what I'm saying? Like, where it's like, I want this to be a thing. I know that won't happen right now, but I want to advocate it to be a thing later. You know what I'm saying? Like, I recognize that there's definitely, unfortunately, a lot of stupid shit that gets in the way of progress, and you kind of have to adapt around that. You know what I mean? But ultimately, I think one of the key factors of doing that and overcoming that is for labor. That's why I personally call myself a trade unionist, or like a syndicalist, or more a line of those terminologies, versus like communist or something. Because also, I'm not like I said, on any impression that, like, yeah, I'm unique and shit as a Westerner, that I'm somehow detached from the materialistic world, with my advocacy. I'm not. Doesn't mean I want it to be the case, but what do I do? Go live in the woods where our federal government owns anyway? So if if a park ranger finds me eventually at a certain long enough time frame, I get fucked anyway. Like, what are you doing here? You can't live here. You gotta tear everything down and basically make it like you left it, and then fuck off from here. Like, you can't really, there's nowhere to really actually practice what you preach, so to speak, in the system. Unfortunately, unless you live a hyper practical, like, anarcho-primitivist, lifestyle, basically. Good job, boy. I literally do. It's called a fucking weekend, dipshit. And plus, it's like, what? Like, over 2:30 in the morning? What time is it? It's 3 o'clock exactly, you dip fuck. Like, yeah, let me be on the clock right now when my job isn't even fucking open. Like, what? Fucking dipshit. You won't be on net on show. You would be on the field of factory slave away for your authoritarian dictator. Well, luckily I don't call myself a communist or anything. So, I mean, you're talking to someone that doesn't even believe in communism, so I don't know why you're saying that to me necessarily. I mean, I'm a labor advocate, but we shouldn't inherently be slaving away, to our authoritarian dictators. We should be seizing the means of production. Or at least make sure that our bosses and managers, are willing to, give us and grant that means of production, so we can at least legitimately have a means of mobility. In the chat lurking. Oh, well, I mean, if someone's a communist in here, I don't care. Let them be in here. I more have an issue with, like, liberals or right-wingers. But that's just me personally. Some spectrum. Well, they still are. I mean, it's just that, at least in my experience, a lot of communists tend to, unfortunately, kind of delve in a weird like right-wing element because they're like so, it's almost like horseshoe shit, like Jackson Hinkle stuff, or like Jimmy Dore kind of shit, where it's like, yeah, I went so left to the point where I kind of basically went right-wing, where I distrust the government, distrust everything so much to the point where I don't even trust like actual science, like medical science, or like, you know, actual like economic science stuff. Like, it's to a point where they just distrust everything to the point they're literally just a contrarian conspiracy theorist, basically. It's like, I mean, how can you fucking like have a real genuine conversation with someone like that at that point? You know what I mean? At a certain rate, it's just like, yeah, you just kind of have to realize that they're just kind of too dumb. Why is it doing that? While we were at the river today, that thing did fall in the river. Is it glitching? Please don't be glitching out. Okay, I don't think it's glitching out anymore. Do you think government doesn't like you having more than one address? No. I'm sure it's... Oh, I don't think it gives a fuck one way or the other, dude. Is it waterproof? Supposedly. More like water resistant. I mean, it's fallen in the water before, so this isn't the first time. But I don't know why it's doing that now. Good job, Bumble. I literally do. I get like over 1,000 every 2 weeks, you know, with my job, you dumb fuck. Have you not heard of a weekend, you retarded fucking moronic troglodyte? Why don't you get a fucking job instead of wasting your time saying good job to other fucking people that stream, you know, do this as a fun little hobby? Dipshit. Judge Dredd just immediately like, bam. 86k seconds for you ass. Well, this is your most recent mental evaluation. Your cognitive skills appear to be restricted. The fuck does that even mean, dog? Aw, you timed him out too? Damn. I was gonna, you know, see a response, but whatever. I can't untime out somebody. Get a stalking count. You can come back, I guess, if you want to. Not my problem, though. Getting a job right now from his mom. Trust me. No offense to my own mama, but you do not want my mom. Just saying. I like how this troll's just saying anything, bro. I know, dude. They literally just say whatever is the first thing that comes in their dumb brain. They have no fucking filter. They have nothing. They don't have even legitimately like a little pop in circumstance or anything. Because I'm a troll. I like, you know, that shit. Legitimately. But like, man, where's the flair? Where's the fun? Where's the pop in circumstance, goddammit? There ain't any. No one knows how to troll anymore. It's so fucking unfortunate. It's so sad. Bruh. Why are you doing that? You speaker bitch. Bro. That's actually annoying now. Oh my god. What do I even do? How do I fix this? How do I even do? Do I just? I just have to suffer with it. Do I turn it off and turn it on again? If it does it again, I'm doing that. I'll just put it right there. Show my name, Judge. Sean Diddy Combs. I don't know. It's that. Fucking Christ. All right, we're doing this. Stop fucking up. Okay. Please solve that problem. Or vomit. Ooh, me? Because I'm pretty sure that ain't the case there, dog. Pretty sure I know exactly what I'm saying. I'm being concise with what I'm saying. You just don't want to listen to it. No trolls? Okay, I wasn't too sure. I mean, I have to admit, like, when I see just a random comment that isn't, like, at anybody, I have to assume it is, like, towards me. A little bit, you know, like, that's the curse of, you know, streaming sometimes, you know? You don't know if a chat is, like, or a specific comment is to you or not. Say la vie, you know what I mean? Bruh. It's still doing it. Fuck. So far for being water resistant. Lovely. I know I'm getting a paycheck here pretty soon this week. Wow, really? 2 in a row? It's just spamming. It's just spamming it now. I'm not having this. This is bullshit. This is actually some bullshit. Bro. Nah, bro. I will literally have YouTube on this bitch ass instead. Logan, bitch. I'm using this account so I don't deal with ads. Turn on, fuck. Cool. Do I have to literally be up here? Okay, there we go. Goddamn. Fucking Rocco. It's definitely broken. Yeah, that thing cooked. That thing hates you, dog. Yeah, the speaker is literally like cursing me as I'm bitching about it. It's okay now. Mysteriously, it's all right now. Okay. Here, you know what? I'm going to use noise to hopefully, potentially get it to, like, get whatever moisture out of that bitch. Vibration is some music, motherfucker. I think it's helping, though. Yeah, flip it upside down. There we go. Okay, now it's doing fine. I'm still having this shit on background on lock just in case, so. Where's YouTube on this bitch? Where are you? There you are. I'm just going to have it on lock ready to go, just in case. If it does that shit again, I think if I blast it like this and then just like let it chill over here, where it's a little muffled, I think we'd be okay. And if so, then it being actually waterproof might actually be a genuine thing. It might not bullshit us then. Hopefully. Because as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing truly genuinely waterproof unless you have like some waterproof bag shit around it. And obviously that don't. So I guarantee you it ain't. Resistant, you know, and probably it's got some shit in there that, you know, that resists it. But I guarantee you that it ain't gonna just be like, yeah, this water, it ain't nothing to us, man. I guarantee you that thing, if you just let it sit underwater long enough, it will just get waterlogged and fucked. Like, if it falls in the river for like 2 seconds and you have to go grab and pick it up, then I'm sure it's okay, which it had a moment, but I think we fixed it. I think it's okay. I think we figured it out. Getting people into using Laughing Disco. You know, we kind of need a little bit of a disco ball. I'm not gonna lie. I have like a little disco light thing that's like a USB thing that you plug in. It's like a little one that you kind of morph around a little bit. Usually I have it in my room and I plug it in sometimes, but I'm just like, I need actually like a big one. Like the one, like one of those ones that just like hangs on like a little display and then maybe like moves around a little bit. Turn that bitch on, have it like on display on a shelf. That'd be dope. You play instruments? Yep. I guess technically I started with piano, but when it came to actually learning music theory and actually genuinely learning an instrument, it was with trumpet. And I still actually have that trumpet over here. I'm not bringing it out or playing it because it's way too fucking late, but I have it over there. I mean, it's in a position where it's hard to get. Not really, actually. I mean, I'll show it off, but I won't like play it or nothing. This guy gets box. There we go. I had this fucking case since I don't know, middle school, I think. I've had this thing forever. But here it is. I've had this thing for, I don't know, 15 plus years now. But she needs a deep clean, valve grease, oil. I mean, and surprisingly, still, the notes are still, or at least these valves are still pretty good, strangely enough. But it's very stiff, I can tell. Yeah, it's way too stiff because sometimes the guy like really go tense and it just refuses to do that. That's why you need the oil on it. Oof. And the valve grease because it should not take your fucking all of your muscle to do that. It should not do that when it comes to these valves where it's like, ugh. It should not take that amount of strength. And obviously with these ones right here, because you have like these little finger rests. Like, it literally should not take that fucking strength. Same with this one here. Ooh. It literally should not take that amount of strength to do that. It should be very easy, like easy slide shit. Like you figure in that's a little poontang, you know what I'm saying? Like you need to have a little like, a little good little fingering, kind of situation, a little, you know what I'm saying? But still have my mouthpiece too. Oh Jesus Christ! Hold on. I'll play this. Those dogs were like, "What the fuck was that?" They were like, "What the fuck was that, dog?" Ah, shit. Those dogs are like, "Oh, what the fuck?" They're like, "What was that?" Vito, what's up, buddy? Oh, little chunk, little jazzy, little silly girl. Play the skin flute very well. So do I. Trying to get a bass guitar. Hey, I got one. I kind of fuck with it a little bit, but there's music in the background. I don't know. Hold on. You know what? Let's see what the roll the dice is for the next song. Okay, hold on. I could probably figure this one out. Ugh. My acoustic. Hold on, I want to listen to it for a sec though. Even turn it up just a smidge because I know it's gonna progress a little bit more. Oh, I think it's in drop D. Hold on. Just like tune. I want to turn a smidge just to hear it smidge more. I think I almost have it though. Okay, so there's it. Now I'm just going to kind of figure out more of the actual rhythm a little bit. Because like good chorus, I need to figure out the chorus part for sure. But at least I got the progression for the most part. Definitely want to tune the Z string a little bit more for it though. I know that much. I mean, I think it's definitely more honestly that he needs to be able to take out because this is that root for sure. I almost had the rhythm part. Hold on, let me see if I can figure that part out. I might have to figure that one out a little bit more. I got the root for sure, and I got the basic like idea around it, but not quite. Not quite. But a little bit there. A little improv at least. Can I do this one? feel like I need a pick for this shit. It's too punky. I need a pick. Shit. Ah, come on. Okay, I think I got the main riff down now. A little bit. Hold on. Should figure out a higher part for this one. Alright, that definitely is the progression that I thought. But definitely works a little easier, like, down here. Not too bad. Okay, I'm sweating my fucking balls off. I'm done playing around with that. I'm literally dripping. I'm fucking dripping here. Ugh. Ugh. I didn't think I'd be dripping so much just doing that, but I guess I am. All right. Fucking sweating balls here. Ugh. Gotta go. Much love, dude. Keep up the good work. Oh, much obliged. Hey, don't forget to subscribe and keep around here every so often. You know what I'm saying? Besides, there'll be a little bit more music where that came from. Not tonight, but in the future potentially. If I definitely had a pick, I'd probably be able to do this on bass too. To be fair, it'd be a little easy. It's basically just like do. It's basic kind of metal progressions. That's kind of my bread and butter a little bit. Power chords, punk / metal progressions, shit like that. This isn't good for mine, bro. I beg to differ. You don't know how my mind works, Doc. And arguably, there's plenty of other things besides weed that are way worse, man. Weed is probably unironically one of the good things I put in my mind. And by the way, what is this? 1986? The Nancy Reagan, just say no era? Like, what's going on here? Dude, it's 2026, man. The states that still have it illegal on every metric are the ones that are backwards here, dog. Just saying. Watch them draw contact. You're not even a mod and you're doing that. I appreciate that. It's one that syncs up on you. How so? You get a weed that, you know, you don't immediately feel high off of, but then it creeps up on you. Yeah, I've had that weed before. And to my Sunday, ooh, good song. You can't be yourself about it. Even though I'm obviously very capable of doing so without it. I literally, like, my most stoner antics are when I do streams. That's when I smoke the most. I mean, legit. You think that me streaming is a reflection of how I do my daily life? Because I'll tell you this much, dog. Even though I'm very genuine about myself, what I do on here is not an absolute reflection of what I do on my day-to-day life. I'll have fun, I'll smoke, I'll chief, I'll drink and shit on my day-to-day life and be merry with other people. But how I am here is a little different than, you know, how I perform, you know, elsewhere in public. Especially with other intoxicants. You thinking shrooms? I've done shrooms. I love them, actually. I like psychedelics. I yearn for the, I'm literally seeing shit psychedelic trip. I've never had one, even though I've had pretty much every, even with acid, the one time I've done that, I've never had like a full on, like, I'm seeing stuff and having like a full experience kind of trip. Like, I've had trips, but not like that, you know what I mean? I'm even open to like DMT or ayahuasca, peyote or some shit. Though I have very specific ways I want to do that. I want to like go to like an actual like shaman and go for the whole ritual and shit like that. You know what I mean? I want to do that with like a shaman and have like a proper like, you know, ego death of like DMT of like, you know, some shaman in New Mexico with like this snoring desert toad, you know, gland DMT shit or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? That's what I want. If I'm gonna do some shit like that, I want to do it right. Shrooms are chill unless you already have a bad week or something, then it's not so chill. Yeah, I mean, in a way, it can help like reset yourself. I mean, there is data that backs up the fact that, like, when it comes to depression or having a bad week or just bad experiences or even trauma, addictions, that, you know, microdosing psilocybin legitimately helps with treatment as a way to cure and help process some of that shit sometimes. Maybe not full trip shit, but microdosing, especially on a medical level, legitimately does have benefit when treating shit like that. And most of the times I've done shrooms, albeit recreationally, or for microdoses. I will do like heavy doses, you know, but for the most part, I've always done like predominantly microdoses, you know, and even on stream, I've done it even while I'm streaming. I'll be like, hold on, guys, be over here. I'll be like, gulp. Anyway, how we all doing? And like 30 minutes later, all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, it's hitting now. But I just ride it, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, there was even one time I literally had like a whole hour of being literally like a Pentecostal preacher or some shit. Being literally like, here's how I can easily just like convince these motherfuckers, man. In Jesus' name I say, in the Lord, you know. I was literally doing that for like an hour at one point on stream way back in the day. Probably like a year or two ago. I know it's on YouTube somewhere. I don't know what stream it was, but if you go far back enough, you'll find it. Seen people on Bafsos. No, yeah, that's just fucking insane. No. No. Probably some great coffee and cigarettes are the jam nowadays. Yeah, nicotine. Yeah, 100%, bro. Hey, can you not spam, bro? I don't even care what you're saying. You're just being timed out on the virtue of spamming, dude. Like, just you can say your one comment and leave it at that. Like, quit spamming. I don't even care what you were saying. Just take 60 seconds and just reflect and understand to not spam. Jesus. Vaping isn't one. Well, I like my flower, man. Dude, I haven't changed in over a decade of smoking weed, and I guarantee you I'm probably not changing anytime soon. When it comes to any flower, joint, blunt, a bong rip, or anything, indica, sativa, or mix, or anything, here you want it, I'm just gonna say no matter what, yes, please. It's weed. I'm a stoner, bro. Like, a stoner, bro. Like, I'm literally just gonna look at it, be like, yes, please, thank you, ma'am, thank you, sir. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm just like, yes, please, or smoke that J, that blunt. I don't care. I just don't. I mean, the only thing that I'm like a little like, hold up, bro, is like vapes. That's the one thing that fucks my lungs up. Where I'm like, oh, damn, I'm coughing for like 30 minutes now off of that like dab. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not ready for that shit anymore. You know, I used to, but my lungs can't handle. My lungs can't handle, man. That's why I stick to flower, baby. I'm not 15 years. You all, what does that have to do anything? Maybe it doesn't do anything for you, bro. But for me, I got my reasons. So yeah, there's a lot of it that's recreational, but whatever, bro. Like, you do you, man. I'm not, gonna like critique or fault on you or pressure you to smoke weed again or whatever. Like, you do you, man. I don't care. Do what, you think is best for your decisions of your life. Like, go for it. I mean, I'm supportive of that when it comes to just basic shit like that. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? I mean, like, ultimately, despite being a stoner, bro, and yeah, I like my drugs, to a certain degree. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna force anyone to do that either. I'll ask, be like, hey, you want to smoke a bowl? Nah, I don't do that. Fair enough. Or for me, respect. My slow ad messages. That sounds fucked. Don't go anywhere with this sort of stuff. Yeah, I don't have to tell me twice. It was for real this time, so yeah. Yeah, no worries, man. You're all good, bro. Hey, we just have too much of a good conversation, and it keeps people hooked. Sometimes it just happens. Hello, who are you? I am Ignar. I'm a rabbit little box soda bro streamer. Who are you? My good friend. I can still roll fat doobies, hand skill to have. Oh yeah. I've never been personally that great with it, but that's why you got friends that are, right? That's why I stick to pipes and water pipes too. That's why I stick to, because it's simple and easy. Plus, honestly, it's not as wasteful. I hate to say it, but like, joints and blunts are actually kind of like a waste of weed if you think about it. Because half the time, especially at a point where like you're passing with people and now you're in conversation, someone is just gonna be holding on to that motherfucker and just letting it burn. And that's not just yourself, but that's to a certain point everybody. Where the Bogart literally is actually more wasteful, even when you're smoking it, even all that shit. And yeah, you smoke some of it, but once you stop, there's such a burn on those embers where, there's a big old little puff once you finish, and you're like, all that smoke though. You know what I mean? It's like, it is a little, not even a little. It actually, unironically, is the most like wasteful way to consume weed. I mean, it has its place, and I'm not even dogging on it, but I'm just like, man, if you're trying to like ration your shit slash like keep your own shit, a pipe or like a little like bubbler or anything like that would genuinely be preferable. Just saying, because you don't waste as much. You got your little, you got your little bolt pack. Smoke that up, pass it around. If it's out, you just reload it real quick with a little bit more, and then bada bing, bada boom, just keep passing around, right? Like, it's more manageable. And also, in a weird way, you can actually like legit gauge like what you have consumed and what you haven't. Way more so than enjoying. Just saying, in my opinion, at least, in my experience. That's why I have to poop 5 minutes after every time without fail. In the morning, that is the case for me, but I kind of need it because honestly, my gut lining slash like vibes in the morning at least are never good. It's unironically pretty fucked. Where there are some times where I'll like do my biz and I'll be like, even I make myself puke sometimes when it comes to the results. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, oh God, what happened to my gut? It's not every time, but man, there are some times where I'm just like, I can't get this out. I'm constipated a little bit. I need a bowl. It helps, weirdly relax some things and get things ready to go, including a little build-up. I'm like, oh, there we go. All right, now we can really go. I hustle in there. Not in emergency, like DEFCON mode, but, you feel it, right? Go in there. But, today was actually weirdly the worst without, thank God, the toxicity. If that makes sense. With the smells and shit. My gut, for like 30 minutes, I was like, 5 minutes later while I'm on my phone, motherfucker! I'd be using paper towel or the toilet paper every time. And I'd just be like, and I looked over at a certain point near the end. I'm like, this toilet paper is literally almost gone. And I flushed like 5 times already. I'm like, I can't literally be here forever. I have to just like get ready to go to the river at some point and just, I gotta move. I gotta get up. But my gut was like, nah, bitch, you're locked in. You're plopped here and you're staying here, bitch. It's like, man, dude, it was rough. Just have a shower. Well, that's what the river's for. That's what the river's for. You go in that nice, clean, Clackamas River water. Ooh. That's the biggest coffee for me. Well, I used to be a really heavy coffee drinker. Not so much anymore, but... Oh, you know what? I bet that's probably why my gut's all like fuck, because I used to do that as a regular, and my body's like, how do you even like, how do we adjust now? I think that's what's happening. Because I was like on the daily, dude. I was literally a coffee drinker. Like, I even had coffee streams before I worked. When I used to work at Safeway, like, I would like wake up, be like, all right, doing a 30-minute stream, drinking the coffee. Double checking the time and stuff. I know I at least have a certain amount of time. All right, it's about like 10 till. Have one more bowl, a little wake and bake, finishing my coffee. All right, bitches, peace out. See y'all until I'm after, off shift, basically, kind of shit. Can't really do that with my work, even with my lunches, because it's just, I don't know. It's different. It's like I kind of want to, like try to do that a little bit just on the virtue for like watch hours, because I know that's like the one thing I need for monetization at this point, so the more the merrier, basically. But it's like, man, what I do for work. Without naming the company, I basically work with a lot of chicken, fried corn, and fries and some good shit like that. Like I said, without like overtly naming the company necessarily, because it's I mean, if I did, it would narrow it down so fucking quick, and I don't really need that. You know what I mean? I don't need that smoke. That's a heroin addict's behavior. Luckily, I don't do shit like that because that shit's fucked. Working in KFC, nope. Way more quality than that, man. Way better quality. And no, it's not a Popeyes or Chick-fil-A. It's a little different. I mean, I'm sure you'll eventually get it. Nah, not Popeyes. Nope. Definitely not. Funny enough, there's actually Popeyes on my way to go to work. And frankly, I don't know what it is, but the smell that comes out of that place is always so weird that I just don't trust it. I hate it because, honestly, their chicken sandwiches are pretty good. They got some good chicken sandwiches, but I'm just like, fuck, dude. I mean, there's a weird, like, smell, you know, that I'm just like, I don't know, man. There's something odd about it. I don't want to, like, you know, deal with that shit, you know what I mean? Because I feel like I'm probably going to get, like, some weird, like, gut problems. We'll leave it at that. Nah. Take another guess. Come on, bro. Got a passion for cooking chicken? No. I got a passion for making money. And, like, having money to live. I mean, I don't give a fuck where I work at. It just happened to be the circumstances where, especially my main boss is actually really cool as fuck, you know, and saw my resume, was like, pretty much this is what we need, and you're right up our alley. You've had a long-term career about it. He didn't even realize how old I was, legitimately, until way later down the line when one of my other coworkers found out how old I was, and they're like, wait, what the fuck? You're almost 29? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, you didn't know that? I thought, you know, my boss knew that for sure. And then he told me about it. I'm like, you hired me, bro. Like, did you not see my birth date or anything? Out of anyone, you should know, dog. I literally went like that with them, and we kind of laughed about it, you know, when that happened, because I was like, dog, dude, what the fuck? Like, you should, out of anyone, you hired me, you should know that. Like, what the fuck? It even said, like, man, I don't pay attention to that shit. I just look at, you know, the credentials, and if it's good, I don't give a fuck, you know. I was like, okay, fair enough. But, like, dude, you didn't see the 97 in the year when I was born of our Lord and Savior of 1997, and didn't think that, yeah, I'm an old fuck with 9 years of experience. Like, what do you think I was doing? Like, I'm 13 years old working at a deli or some shit. Like, what were you thinking, bro? You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I'm just like an indentured child servant, you know, since like 13, you know, for a company, basically. It's like, what? It's like, Jesus Christ, dude. It was a funny little moment, but I was like, bruh. I was a little bit like, bruh. I know I got a baby face, but come on now. You know my work experience, you fuck. You had a few jobs? Oh, yeah. My first job, the one I was initially talking about, Safeway, was the one that had the longest for over 9 years. And that was also a union job too, and where I also became a major labor advocate and a, you know, trade unionist as well. Like, a lot of my labor politics came from being a part of a union with that work, you know, especially for as long as I was, because I was an agitator and an advocate and did work to help, you know, push for new contracts that were coming up, you know, where the company would, you know, try to withhold and actually be resistant about. And I was, you know, one of the outright advocates, you know, in the union, being like, yeah, no, we need to fight against that. There was many, you know, within our members, you know, were like that, you know, including our reps too and shit at the time. But I mean, it only took until like post 2020 when our last contract, the one I voted on before I was terminated in 2024. And that one was like the most, because there was legit threat of a strike. Like, you know, our union was actually legitimately thinking about going on strike. And even the year or a few years prior, when it came to Fred Meyer with Kroger and their specific contract, they were on strike, for a few days right before Christmas. And because of the detriment and the loss of profit for the 2 days that they were striking, for the whole week that union was supposed to be striking for, the corporation and the company at the time literally came to the table and said, "We concede. You just have to at least concede on this one thing or two things, and then we will concede to everything else." Because they had a strike, and our union and the union members voted in favor of that. It wasn't my vote to have, but I was in solidarity with it. I partook of them for one day. I had a day off once, and there was a shop that was nearby where that strike was going on. I hung out with them for a little bit. Didn't keep a sign or nothing, but I've also done this with other unions that I'm not even related to. I've done this, with the United Automotive Workers Union, the UAW. I've done this with the Portland Association of Teachers, the PAT. I've done this with different unions where I've participated in their strikes because that's what union solidarity is about. Just because I'm not in their industry doesn't mean that I can't stand in solidarity with them, right? Especially ultimately as like a former union member too. I'm not in the union anymore, but I'll still stand strong with that shit. I don't care. I always will. 9 years in one job. Damn, longest I've been is 4 years. Starting to get more responsibilities, not paid, so I left. Couldn't imagine. I guess I wanted it. Yeah, I mean, I arguably probably should have left that job sooner than I did. Mostly on the virtue that it was on top of my broader living experience at the time was kind of holding me back. So especially now than ever, I don't really necessarily like blame the circumstances or especially the union. If anything, the union was what helped me have some genuine level of stability on top of my broader living experience. If I wasn't in the union, I probably would be in a different situation right now. I'm not even joking. So, I mean, I'm, at the end of the day, I'm always glad to be a part of that and would always, be an advocate for that. I mean, I don't know if my particular job right now can be unionized. I mean, I kind of want to gauge the waters a little bit, including with at least my boss. But considering how broadly based he is when it comes to a lot of shit anyway, as it is, I, I'm not really too concerned about it, but I'm just more like, if this was legitimately a thing and I talked to a union about this, would you be fine with it? Would you be on my side about it? Like, not saying I would, hypothetically, wink, because I used to be a part of a union. Like, I think there's a value to that. Even if that does, maintain the current contract that we have as workers, when it comes to that workplace. I mean, a union at the end of the day, at minimal, is supposed to ensure that. Ensuring that corporation doesn't backtrack and be like, "Oh no, we can't do that anymore." Actually, you don't get those privileges of having like healthcare or dental care or whatever the fuck. Nah, we actually revoke that now. Well, that's a violation of a union contract if you got something like that, right? So they can't just do that shit. So, I mean, that's the part of that collective protection when it comes to workers that unions are fundamentally nothing more than a benefit for. Always. And if the union's weak, that's because the members and the people that are should agitate for that union are weak as well, and unfortunately are not taking advantage of the power that they really truly have, considering that you have the protections to be able to voice that power. Basically, at that point, that means that maybe you should probably agitate, and get these people more aggravated, and and be like, no, you really do have power. Get pissed off about it, 100%. But maybe your union reps need to know about it and hear your fucking anger, because there's plenty of times past. There's documentaries, there's videos, there's anecdotal experience I've heard and seen where it's like, yeah, sometimes the union needs to hear you be fucking angry, pissed, spitting blood mad, and be like, no, what the fuck are you doing for me? I'm out here dying, basically, and you son of a bitch. Like, what the fuck are you doing for it? What are my dues going for you? When you're not doing shit for me. Put a log under their ass. That makes the union actually, like, genuinely realize, like, we actually do need to fight. Because if they're failing to understand that shit, you need that. And if the higher ups and leadership of that union refuse to, that still, replace them. Get them out with people that actually fucking care. It's not the fault of the union, it's the fault of the leadership of it. If you like normal, as a baseline standard, sure. It's not my conclusion of what I think is, the best system, but it's at least a baseline that we can at least work towards. At least as a way to just get something, remotely progressive. My country got free Medicare. Fucking rocks. Broke my handbox and I got paid 80% of my earnings while I healed. I didn't even get her at work. I mean, the one time I had medical leave, it was the same thing. And it was actually funny enough, right before COVID started, before the lockdowns happened, I cracked my fucking wrist. In fact, you could still kind of see a little bit of the bump on it right there. You can even see, like, distinctively, there is legit like a bump right there where there isn't on this one, because I cracked this shit right here. Literally because I just punched a fucking wall and I just did not land it right. I was frustrated because the phone at the time was just fucking broken. And I was like, God damn it, this fucking phone! I just did that. And I went, and I knew I fucked it up. And I just went, oh, fucking bitch! And I just sat down and went like, smoking a bowl. This hurts. Fuck! And I just sat there massaging it thinking, it ain't broken. I just got to massage it because I just like strained something bad. And I just knew that wasn't the case. At a certain point, I just went to my folks and it was like, hey, I'm walking to the hospital because it's like literally like a 15-minute walk away. I was like around the corner from pretty much that time. And I was like, I'm walking over there because I'm pretty sure I just cracked my fucking hand. And he cast for 6 weeks. More like 5. I mean, it healed relatively quickly, all things considered. It just, it's got permanent damage. Honestly. Fuck, did you have to pay? No, because I was a part of the Oregon Health Plan, and I was in the union, and I had, healthcare within the union contract that I had as well. Unfortunately, the insurance didn't see it that way, so they still tried to fucking make me pay $200, which I never did because it was completely covered no matter what. So I literally, like, once the debt collectors were like, hey, you need to pay this, I was like, fuck off. Basically, I'm like, literally, no, I don't. That insurance company is literally trying to extort me. Go fuck yourself. I even challenged it to them, and they were like, oh, yeah, you're actually kind of right. And they eventually fucked off, but I was like, I'm not paying nothing. You think I'm dumb? Like, I know how my, healthcare is, not just of OHP, but with my union contract as well. Like, I'm smarter than that, you dumb fucks. Unfortunately, most Americans are, sadly, pretty stupid, but I ain't. I know that shit. So the payment comes from the company you work for? No, from my union dues. When it comes to being a part of a union, the dues that you pay when to the union is what helps when it comes to things like healthcare contracts and stuff like that. The company obviously pays into it as well, but it's predominantly at least via union dues, at least in this circumstance. But at least with OHP, the Oregon Health Plan, that's via taxes because of how Oregon's broader healthcare system is, which is like a pseudo public option kind of thing. So it's arguably better than most of the country, but it's still, it's a complicated mess. There should just be a nationalized / universal healthcare system, and that's just what it is. I mean, a union or a company or a state, within a country or a province, should literally not have to dictate oh, well, we have to figure it out. No, it should just be across the board. Everyone pays the basic tax, to be able to guarantee basic healthcare services for everybody. If you get sick, you got a broken arm, this and that, whatever the fuck, free deployment service. There you go. You can't account for the fact that you might get sick or fucked up when it comes to your health. Shit happens. There needs to be guaranteed to ensure that you don't get fucked because of that. Abortion is murder. Literally, no, it's not. Actually, being hyper pro-life and putting the detriment in the life of the mother at risk is actually murder, because you care so much about the life in their womb. There are a lot of women and a lot of people that with pregnancies that have actually died during the birthing process, including the baby as well. So I don't know, maybe if there's legitimately like a risk like that, probably not a good idea to keep them pregnant. So what's actually more likely a murder? I guess someone's making too much money for that to happen anytime soon, eh? Like the insurance companies. Yep. Okay, then why someone kills a pregnant woman and it counts as a dumb murder, but abortion isn't? Because it's the woman's choice when it comes to an abortion. If they personally choose that, like, I don't want to carry this child anymore and I don't want to, have a child and birth this child, that's within their fucking right as an autonomous person. They're their own individual, and they have every right to dictate how they do as fit with their own body, including abortion. I just don't want to keep it. She could put a kid up for adoption. I'm not against that, but at the end of the day, abortion should still inherently be a right. And women ultimately, or anyone who's pregnant, should always have that opportunity and that option to have, when it comes to deciding whether they want to have or not have a child. Are you a woman, Gavin? No. So why are you having such a very concrete, assured idea about it? I mean, I have my position about it, but that's because I respect and, understand the autonomy of women, and they should be able, ultimately, no matter what their position is, have that choice. And respect that choice that they have. I can just put it off adoption because that's their choice. If they found out, like, 6 weeks into a pregnancy that they're pregnant and they don't want to have a child and they abort it, like, they literally don't have to put it up for adoption. I will say, if they're like 6, 7 something months in and now they decide, like, I don't want to have this kid, I would encourage, and advocate that, yeah, they should put that kid up for adoption. But, there's plenty of children out there up for adoption but never have, parents. They just have to be in the foster care system and get abused and fucked by that. So why contribute further to that too? I'm not against the idea of adoption, but we should probably also address, the system of how we, deal with that as well, including when it comes to foster parents, and make sure that those kids have proper foster parents who are at least willing to at least give a fuck about them instead of abusing them for whatever fucking reason they want. Because that happens way more often than you think. One of my friends literally grew up being a part of an abusive foster care system. I mean, like, this is something that I, have anecdotal and, indirect, knowledge about. And yeah, you can say that it is all you want. That's fair. But at the end of the day, it's like, I kind of have an idea a little bit. And that ultimately needs to be addressed. But regardless, it's still the woman's autonomy and their right as their body and their choice to be able to have an abortion or adopt a child out or whatever. It's their choice regardless. Let people choose to let them live their own choices. I'm sure they'll feel enough good. Yeah, and also this is a weird idea. Like, you think that women who get abortions, like, just do it on a whim? I've known women who've done it, and it's very traumatic to them. They don't even like talking about it. They'll bring it up sometimes. I've met women that will bring it up, and I'll be like, "Well, why did you feel that way?" etc. I just out of curiosity, and they're like, "I really don't want to talk about it. I'm just bringing it up for this and that." Anyway, but I'll be like, "All right, respect. I'm not gonna intrude on it further because it's traumatic, and also it hurts and it's fucked. I mean, no matter what, and in a certain degree, like women generally do have a sense of trauma and hurt when it comes to shit like that. It's not like, it's an easy fucking choice. You know what? Yeah, there's probably women out there that, do make it like that, where it's like, I don't care. I'm sure there's, some women like they're out there. But for the most part, plenty of them are generally like, this a very hard choice, but I know it's best for me, and this is why I ultimately want to choose because I know it's better for me. I can't afford to try to adopt this kid or raise this kid or anything else. That's my question though. Is something with a heartbeat alive? Well, when it comes to a fetus or a zygote, I mean, on the virtue that biologically it's alive in the sense that, yeah, it's a living organism, sure. But as a sentient human being, that is not. It takes years even for that newborn to become a sentient human being, dude. Like, not saying that as an excuse there, by the way. I mean, because obviously there ain't. Once you're born, like, that life should, once you're born, be immensely protected. It's interesting that a lot of Republicans and a lot of people on the conservative side don't care about that, though, even though I especially do. Prior to it, though, when it comes to the virtue of, like, pregnancy, that's ultimately the choice of the woman. And yeah, I might have my personal opinion about like when that's most appropriate for an abortion or not, or maybe for adoption or otherwise. But regardless, that's their choice. It's their body, their choice. It's not my position to say one way or the other how they ought to dictate it. I can have my own opinion because honestly, ultimately, I do think to a certain degree abortion isn't right, after a certain point. But I mean, that's not my decision. I'm not the one who's getting pregnant over here. It's a deeply personal thing. I mean, ultimately, that I agree with. Yes, and maybe the Republican Party should not make it so political because it's not. It's just a personal choice and a personal position of a woman. When it comes to that position, or with their partner, especially, it's up to them. And honestly, if there's conflict between those two partners about that choice, maybe they shouldn't be partners then. I mean, like there ain't nothing wrong with that. Sometimes people realize that like a certain thing or a certain fulcrum point in that relationship makes it realize like yeah maybe we aren't necessarily fit for each other, and sometimes a child is like that. But hey, you know what? Like at the end of the day, like one, plain efficiency, and two, maybe we should have a system that, for one, especially proliferates, and actually like advocates for the children who are alive and that are born, but also respect and enforce the autonomy of women when it comes to their choice about that shit. Like, how, what, can we not have both? Copen los dos, hermano? See? Like, can we not have both? Or just practice safe sex? Well, no matter what, of course. But that just comes with, actually pushing proper safe education and proper education. Regardless if it's like safe sex education or otherwise. Like, education is a very important thing. It's ultimately the downfall of what the fuck is going on in America, regardless of this whole abortion topic or otherwise. Like, the fact that we are literally, like, forfeiting education on the virtue of just basically being like a dumb brain rotted fucking bitch or whatever the fuck. It's like it is disgusting to me. I'd rather actually have a fruitful conversation with someone that I don't necessarily politically agree with versus like some brain rotted fuck that literally has no proper education and can't think for themselves besides 6-7 bit or like some other weird dumb fuck limit shit or whatever. Like, you know, these limit jokes I see every so often. It's like, man, you're all just like literally got no brain. I literally have no interest to even entertain that. You know what I mean? I mean, I will sometimes, you know, if I'm in the mood, but I just can't do it, bro. At a certain point, I'm just like, nah, I can't stoop myself. I can't stoop myself to such a degree because none of them know the proper art of trolling and shit, you know. But that's a side tangent. Because ultimately, it's just where's the brains? You know what I mean? Are you saying I have no brain? No, no. Actually, I'm kind of trying to validate, you, despite our differences. You know, the fact that you're willing to at least sit here, chill, and have a back and forth. I mean, I actually respect that. Like, I mean, we probably don't agree on a lot. I could probably tell, but that doesn't matter. I actually am okay with that because at least we can have a back and forth a little bit. I mean, I might, you know, be edgy or might say you're a dumb fuck, this and that, whatever. You know, I might do that shit. I'm not gonna lie. I will probably, and yeah, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna lie. You know, you're a little, I think, you know, ignoramus about things on certain things, but whatever, man. That doesn't matter. At least we can hash it out and chat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really actually, you know, like, regardless of politics, I prefer that. Like, no matter what. Like, I mean, because I actually do like the value of being able to challenge my own ideas, my own positions, even though I'm probably not going to change them necessarily. I mean, I'd rather at least have an ability to be like, well, I'm going to defend my shit and actually talk about it. And it's not often there are people here that actually want to do that. You know what I mean? Not just for myself, but for other people too, you know? Whole folk say, huh? I think you've broken your sentence there, buddy. I think I do respect you for respectful and respect my taste. Yeah, sure. Like, well, respectable within reason, I suppose. Because, like I said, I might, you know, for a little edge here and there, little, little slice. You know what I mean? But if anything, it mostly comes from a sense of like, hey, you give it, I give back, have back and forth kind of thing. You know what I mean? But there ain't no harm, no foul kind of thing. Ultimately, big guy rights to everyone. Numerous rapists have human rights in prison, dog. Yeah, I mean that's true too. And yeah, they should. Every human being, you know, like does have basic rights that they should have respected, despite their violation and forfeiting of those rights to other people. And it's because there are certain circumstances where, not always, but there are people like that generally realize, like, wow, I did fuck up. I did do a horrible thing. I want to rehabilitate. I want to change. You know, like there are people that are like that. I can't like just say fuck him because there are plenty of people, probably more so than those type of people, that don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's plenty of people like that. They're like, yeah, I killed that guy. I raped that bitch. Whatever. Fuck it. They had to kill him. Yeah, well, fuck you then. But you know, you think every fucking guy's like that, or every gal, or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, not always. I'm willing to at least, you know, hear the circumstances out a little bit and go from there, just to see like, are you actually like someone that, you know, is rehabilitative and someone that actually, you know, understands that shit, you know, is willing to at least, you know, recompense yourself a little bit and have like a little redemption. Because if so, hey, I don't mind planting seeds and helping you out. You know what I mean? But like, if not, then yeah, go fuck yourself. Because yeah, we all got flaws. We all got problems. Some people way more so than others. But at the end of the day, yeah, there's so many people that out there that got so many fucking problems, are generally sociopathic and fucked up. I can't forgive that shit. At the end of the day, it's always a balance with that shit sometimes, and you gotta have to gauge it, you know. And how can you unless you at least hear it out a little bit, you know? I mean, there ain't no harm at least hearing it out and trying to get a basic understanding because then at least you have a better way to gauge out like was this person being really that fucked up? Were they being like, like unintentionally like, hurtful actions and didn't realize it until it was too late, kind of shit because they just saw red. You know what I mean? Like plenty of times where there are people like that. And at the end of it, when it comes to court and shit, they're like, it was fucked. I cannot believe, what happened. And I hope that there's remorse for me because I do not want, you know, to let my entire life be ruined. I understand I have to take that punishment. I understand I have to obviously, go for this, but I'll, I want to be better. You know what I mean? Like just playing people like that. Like I said, like you can't just take that away. I mean, that's why our system, especially when it comes to the prison and judicial process, should legitimately be on the rehabilitative spectrum instead of like looking at it like, oh well, let's fucking just punch everybody for the virtue of it. Like, yeah, maybe some people generally need to be punished. That's fine, but you think that's most people? Because definitely not. Oh shit, Hyperion just nuked a motherfucker. No, I'm right. And wait, what? Yeah, wait, what? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna unban Sammy just so I can understand what the fuck he's even trying to say. Jessica missile activated. I get you, but I kind of want to know what this guy's trying to say if he's still around. Like, maybe I missed some of his earlier comments, but like, dude, what the hell are you talking about, Sammy? Is there a way to here? Hold on, I know there's a way to chat activity. This big. Hold up. Oh wait, here we go. Okay, even like what I'm reading here with everything that this guy said, huh? Dogs don't have rights. That's stupid. Hit lower, killed. What? Eugenics? They did not have. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What are you even trying to say, bro? In prison, all sub tier. Yeah. Nah. You know what? Yeah. Maybe Hyperion had the right idea. Sounded like he was being an anti-abortion loser. Nah. Okay. We were having a conversation with someone who is like pro-life, so to speak. But that guy was not it at all. I know who it was. Like we're having to actually, as far as I'm concerned, a pretty decent little bit of a, productive back and forth. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know if they like changed their opinion or whatever, but hey, I'm sure that at least there's some extra value to the conversation that was added, to the broader take. You know what I mean? It was me. Yeah, I know it was you, Gavin. I'm just saying, like, I don't know who that Sammy dude was, but yeah, that guy was popping off for no reason over really unhinged shit. I literally didn't even know, bro. We're drinking a lot. This ain't the only thing, dog. All day today has been many things, and this is just one of them. Speaking of, I need to grab another. Jewish people doing it to you already. Huh? What the fuck do the Jews have to do with anything that we're having right now? Why? What? What? Huh? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué, pendejo? Smokes and sleep. Peace out, bro. Hey, you have a good one, man. Mr. Pain on Ice. Fuck ice. If you actually knew the subject, Israel, I should say Zionists. Hey, trust me, bro. Fuck Israel. Fuck Zionists. But do you think that, the entirety of the Jewish people have anything to do with Zionism? Because they don't. Even my direct experience with anti-Palestinian or anti-Israeli protests, against Israel, shit that I've been part of, there's been a lot of Jewish people literally there actively, even having like poems, various different art, stuff like that, to be like, hey, and also even like sometimes even their own families being subjugated and also oppressed, by the Israeli state because they're not proper Jews, basically. I mean, Zionism is a lot more anti-Semitic than you think. It's like they actually will literally like demonize other Jews just on the virtue that they're not like a part of their ideology. It's as if that, like, shocker, the entirety of Jewish people have nothing to do with Zionism. Straight that lie up. No, it's literally not a lie. Especially on the virtue that I have actually directly interacted and talked to these people. And they're just literally average Portlanders and people that live in the city that I live in too. They just also happen to, be, Jewish and also anti-Zionist. Shocker. I feel that should be more process, man. Like, if you don't know, there should be a program to get you a green card. Well, there already kind of is, and that's kind of the fuck thing. Like, literally doesn't even need to be in the middle of this shit. Like, there already is a process to be able to have green cards and shit. Like, it's just so bureaucratic as fuck that for some people, including renewing them, it's a very difficult process to even acquire it or even renew it. And it takes months, even, years sometimes, to legitimately, acquire that or renew it. And there ain't no harm in those people legitimately trying to come here for a better life, have a decent job that, hate to say, a lot of white boys and a lot of Americans and white people like me don't want to take. Like fucking, 12 hours, picking grapes or some shit. Yeah, you think some white boy want to do that shit? Yeah, sorry, no, that ain't ever happening. So who else is going to do it? The migrant worker. But at the end of the day, they should have the same fucking rights and protections as a worker in this country, just like we do. So let's streamline this process for them to be workers and, maybe sometimes even citizens if they want to live here. And, and let them fucking take a part of that American dream that everybody in America should partake in, and every human being should have an opportunity in. Obviously, we should, make sure there's a system for everybody that, focuses on that. But at the end of the day, everybody should be able to, take advantage of that. Migrants and otherwise. Shocker. I'm, pro humanity in that way. I care about people in the sense that it's like, hey, if there's a better opportunity here in this country, let's maximize that as much as we can. Because why the fuck not? Including for us, too, by the way. It shouldn't just be for the migrant either. Love censoring, so you're fascist? No, I'm not. But my friend is a little extra about it. But I don't know. I want to hear what you got to say a little later. What else you got? Because you don't understand what fascism is if you think censoring speech is fascism. Because let me tell you, my dog, capitalism and a lot of the system that we got right now is way more pro-censorship than my ass and my mods. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm telling you, what you got here is actual freedom of speech. Legitimately. I'm willing to let things slide to an extent. Even, overriding my mods sometimes. Because I've done that for a period a little bit. Until I feel like, oh no, you made the right decision. reban your ass. But either way, I mean, I'm willing to let things slide to an extent. To an extent. That's why my rules are more orders, kind of shit. You know what I mean? If I enact an order, or I'm like, nah, execute order 66 or execute order 7734 or whatever the fuck. Like, when those orders are executed, that's when the rules are full on established. You're like, oh, hell no, kind of thing. That's when it is legitimate, like, nope, we're like, no holds barred. It is full phlegm. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. If you even attempt, to try to push that shit, you're done. But luckily, I never really have had to do that yet. And if I do, it's usually on my own accord anyway. I don't have to really ask the mods. I just can single out like one motherfucker and just do it from there. But I mean, every so often, it's just rotten where I just got to get everybody on board. You know what I mean? And it gets so much more clear. That position of clear is just so nice, I will say. Go look at what the social credit system is, China. You really think that's a thing there? You do realize that the social credit system is actually not even really a thing in China, to the point that they have it just to fuck with Westerners. They literally have, like, sometimes in certain cities, like, little screens, of different people who are like somewhat popular, like celebrities, or they have like pseudo credit scores there just to fuck with people, because they know that the West especially thinks that that's a thing when it literally isn't. But but we in the United States have social credit, social security, and all this other shit, and social security numbers, but that literally dictates, including your credit score, dictates how you can potentially like function and have how much mobility you have in the United States. But China don't, though, despite their the Western lies about like their social credit system and shit. Sorry, bro, that literally is not like a thing. It just isn't. Because Communist Party controls Chinese media. That's not even completely true necessarily. Yeah, like there is a level of like, state-approved shit, but do you think that like they can control their entire population when it comes to that? There's plenty of people that critique the government in China and shit, dude. There's plenty of people out there that are very vocal, even on social media, about that shit. But at the end of the day, the Chinese government understands that, like, hey, a little bit of a social freedoms, including their expression about how they want to have their grievances, is still fine. But at the end of the day, like, they will literally go out their way to execute billionaires here. If they're, like, so adamant against, like, the system, including the status quo, especially, like, capitalistic billionaires, they got no problem, taking them out. Which, I don't know. At least when it comes to the billionaires, and when it comes to like these elite, corporate oligarchs and shit that want to try to go beyond their own system, and then the Chinese government makes an example out of them. I wish we did that in the United States. I wish that the state was actually like, trying to be like Luigi Mangione, but I guess not. Only China could do that, I suppose, because they actually give a fuck a little bit. But oh no, they're actually like an existential threat to the entire world somehow mysteriously, even though they're literally not. But okay. For Turning Point USA video, or like Fox News or OAN or Newsmax. Going to Swahili, oh man, goddamn. Oh shit, ain't true.
I'm so high, I can speak Swahili. Cruising down your block, I might drop into wheelies. Smoking on this gas got me feeling real silly. I can speak Spanish, so I'm going to Chili's. I'm so high, I can speak old English. I'm off the jiggers like Fat and Beavis, smoking on that gas straight out in Norwegian. Bitch, you know I'm all about my green like a vegan. Smoking on that brush and I'm so high I can speak Dutch. Shoot your leg, you need a crutch. I'll be smoking too much. Break into your house, smoke a rock on your couch. I just smoked a pound from my neighbor down in Laos.
Being the mom, your aunt had to work in America to message from massage parlors for their Chinese mom and Chinese gov while studying as a professional corporate espionage agent while she was able to change her name and move. So ain't about money, it's about control. I mean, of course, divide and conquer kind of shit, right? I'm willing to grant that, there's probably some legitimacy and you're being real about it. I'm always saying that just because I know there's so many people that I see in my chats that are just bullshit artists. But, hey, I'm willing to give it a benefit of doubt regardless. Because, I'm sure there really is, like I said, at the end of the day, regardless, like, a fucking fundamental evil to this shit, right? Russia, United States, Israel, Russia, or China, like all these countries there's always going to be fucking flaws, problems, and detestable fucking shit. You know what I mean? This is one of those things where it's like, we're all victims of that shit. Regardless, whether there's some legitimacy to the story or not, like, I mean, I will say if there is, it just validates the point further. If there ain't, well, fuck you then. Because even then, it still validates my position. Because there are people out there, legitimately, that probably have, family and or even directly have lived that life. It's not just like, just nobody, you know what I mean? Like, people have like lived shit like that. Attention to people watch Get Real. There's more than that, but okay, bro. Why are you being so hostile about it? Bullshit made up nonsense. Like I said, I'm willing to give at least somewhat of a benefit of doubt. Even if maybe their shit's a little BS, like, what, you think that there's at least some story of someone like that ain't, true? You want to be able to switch to political narrative? Not entirely. But even if that was the case, so that's why everyone dislikes you guys and you won't win 2028. You're one of those Trumpies, aren't you? And a fascist, says the one who wants to support a pedophile, huh? Okay. Nah, you're fine. I just always want to like read back those messages and see what's up before I, commit to it. You know what I mean? Something like that. Yeah. No. How's that stock account that you're building up? When it comes to fascism. Freedom of speech, bro. Even though I literally support like fascists, but no, the left is really actually fascist because they're not tolerant of us anymore. Like, give me a fucking break. The paradox of the intolerant. Rightoids and liberals always will try to convince you that that's actually like there's some fucking merit to that. Literally, there isn't. Always be intolerant of tolerance. And beat them at their own game too sometimes, because fuck them. They don't deserve the basic fucking idea of like, respect on that shit. I'm willing to grant it to a degree, but like at a certain point I'm like, nah. Fuck you. I'll chat with you, but don't expect any respect. Because you're sure shit ain't gonna get it from me. Got a problem? Oh, you want to fight about it? You want to punch me or something? Want my ass? What do you want? Because either way, I ain't gonna like the outcome. We're going to try for the cheap Baijin and Siggy's? What? Huh? Also, brother, good news. I'm moving out at the end of the year. Getting out of this expensive fuck city. Hell yeah. Where are you thinking? Where are you going? Fingers crossed, Portland. Not gonna lie. That's all I'm looking forward to having to deal with my aunt's military PTSD flashbacks every night. Well, that's good. Well, tell me more about it, eventually on Discord or something. Yeah. Discord me about it all. Also, what the fuck is my homeboy? We were literally at the bar earlier, and I was like, yo, I'm kind of done. And there was conveniently a bus that was like on the way back here, and I was like, fuck, I'm taking it. We talked for a little bit before I even did this, because it kind of powered out for a sec before I did. Now I'm like, where the fuck is he? I literally did this on the virtue. I'm like, I'll just do this until he shows up. And it's, what? Almost 4:35, and he's like, not even here. What? Where'd he go? What happened? What happened to him? Where did he go? Might have to hit him up here a little bit. Chevelles best bossing in the 90s. Hank down one more just rain down. Damn. That's kind of shitty. God damn it. Doggle hairs. Me. Get out of here. There we go. I'll say PTSD is such, kind of a fucked traumatic thing that people gotta deal with. I mean, I got my own variation of it too, to an extent. But it's never gonna, compare to like what service members and people like that had to deal with. Because the times that it hits me, it's more of like a mental thing. It's not like I get triggered by anything physically. It's sometimes mentally it just comes up every so often. And I'm just like, damn, that happened. But sometimes it kind of hits me a little bit more than just like, oh, damn, that happened. Sometimes, I guess there is some occasionally like triggers, every so often where I'm like, ooh. I'll say it hasn't really happened in a long fucking time though. Unless I'm talking about it, maybe telling a story, but even now it hit me. It's just one of those things where I think I've like at least dealt with enough to where it's not a deal, anymore, but it's still there though. It's not like it ain't gonna ever go away. Never will. But at least like it doesn't really impact me like it used to. Because I remember there was times, I would think, fuck, like, what if I could have done this or that and blah blah. There was a lot of times where I legit was like, fuck. But at this point, it doesn't hurt me so much anymore. Just more like, oh yeah, that the reminder of that trauma, basically. And that's kind of what PTSD is, no matter what, right? Trauma just hits you sometimes and just reminds you, like, yeah, it happened. Ugh. That's why they call it post-traumatic stress disorder, right? No matter how long, that trauma hit you, like, sometimes it just hits you in the face again sometimes. Different times, but wait, what? Somebody's blowing out through fine subs before my dad passed away. Different times, but I still said 2 claims. Yeah. I haven't know what I was. That's why he was shower every morning. Well, I mean, I'm kind of glad I don't necessarily, but oh man, there are definitely certain things that I've worn where they don't get that enough, and especially when it comes to like concerts or like shows, and I'm wearing like a jacket, especially like one of my punk jackets or something, and then it's oof, no bueno, definitely no bueno. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of also feeling that right now, just on the virtue of just like ugh, it's it's hot as fuck, and I don't even want to sleep in my room, dude. Like it's actually like legit unbearable. That's why I'm streaming in here because I woke up being like, it's fucking death. Eh. I was like, I'm out here. I'm sleeping on this fucking couch. I don't give a fuck. Even my roommate was like, oh fuck, you're over here, and I was like, yeah. It's so bad in my room. I'm not sleeping in there, dude. I can't. I literally can't. I'm suffering. In here is colder. It literally is colder right in here. So I'm just like, fuck it. You're good to be there for her when she needs you. No, for sure. I don't know if you're talking about me, but I'm also single, so I don't really have like a gal to chill with. I have a chunk, a little jazzy bean, who's also like dead. She literally just like collapsed so hard right now. Oh my lord. They were swimming so hard and worked out a lot today. Oh, Jazzy, you chunk. Jazzy, come here, girl. Jazzy. Jazzy girl, come here. Come here, girl. Jazzy. Oh, you're just so dead. You don't even care. Like, fuck you, Onk. I'm not doing anything. I'm not moving. Speaking of people smelling bad, I went to a card shop the other day and had to leave because one of the customers smelled like what I mentioned Asmongold smells like. It was that bad. Oh my god. Brother, ugh. Oof. Wow. Oh, both your tails are just going off at once. It's so cute. See. Kill your chunk. Oh my lord. You ball of rock. You chunk. Oh shit, 2%. Oh my god. Well, chunk. You must migrate right there. Ugh. Ugh. It's a little bean. There we go. And this time, peace out, boys. Yeah, have a good one, my friend. Come back around and chill around for the next round. Anyway. Well, speaking of anyway, I'm probably gonna wrap it up. Not necessarily too soon, but soon. Which that also means like within like 10 minutes or 15 minutes or something like that. I was secure for that kind of thing. Discuss where this can we for that. Yeah, I mean PTSD is just what it is. It's just really ultimately about how like people try to adapt and adjust to it. You know what I mean? Big chunk. He's such a silly little chunk. Oh, he's just a lazy bean right now. Oh my lord. Little bean. I kinda wish I could stop being bipolar. Isn't there like a actual medication for that though? Is it like lithium or something? Like I thought there was like a medication for that. Why are you staring at me so hard? Big old chunk. This pal thinking wishfully together one thing's making it happen over time, you know. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I can feel that. I can agree with that. I wasn't ready to become dependent on it. One minute is medicine, that was one done. Or like a little cure all. Well, we're not quite there yet. Maybe. Eventually, but we're not there yet. Come as you are, as you will, as you want you will be, as a friend, as a friend. Is our boy over here just literally like just putting the lyrics of some Nirvana in here? All right, cool. Nice, thanks. I mean, hey, you know, I noticed it. Got respect it a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, for example, oops, I got AIDS again. Better take my neck cold flu and AIDS medicine. I mean, like I said, we're not quite there yet, man, but wouldn't it be nice? I think we could get there eventually, but we're not there yet. Fair. Let me catch the last little bit of this out. I'm gonna actually call my homeboy, you know, and wrap it up now, because where the fuck is he? We're hanging out like all damn day, and now he like disappeared. So I'm just like, huh? Where'd you go, bro? You know what? Actually, let's end it proper, because he did leave this. He did leave this, so. That's my favorite Family Guy episode. Quacking around with me, I'll stop over meds like that. Oh, like that one bit where Peter literally was trying to like stab every fucking STD in him, and it was like, I'm the patient zero. I'm a carrier. I'm immune to it. I'm this. I'm that. And then eventually was just like, Peter literally had to go into the savannas of Africa to find like some random mosquito to be like, you ain't immune to this motherfucker. Like, sub, peace out, not lads. Yeah, much love, man. Have a good night. Oh, that good shit. But we're still in Branco out of multiverse, and the universe could change and never exist, and we're like, that's for more advanced. Thanks, science, right? But I will say though, if it wasn't for Christianity, there literally would be some other shit, man. It'd be like Islam, it'd be Judaism, it'd be like Hinduism, Shintoism. It'd literally be like some other fucking religion, dude. As much as I yearn for it, man. If it was Christian, there'd be some other fucking faith and some belief that would take its place. Unfortunately. Hate to burst the bubble though. But you know what? There is a multiverse out there somewhere where that does exist. And we're literally are an intergalactic species that is like literally the head of like the intergalactic like federation and republic of like, you know, the Milky Way or some shit, you know what I'm saying? That does exist somewhere in the multiverse. But not here though. Unfortunately. We're not in the right universe. Just swiping, I have no idea where you are from. And from the south. Stop inside shirt. That was in YHC X Emblem. No, it's actually a local punk band from Portland called 1876. Really cool additions, man, that, you know, is out here in Portland. But yeah, that's where I'm from. Chicago, Oregon. Come down some doing more lyrics than Nirvana. Nice. Coolest person I swiped on. Too bad I'm literally about to wrap it up, but hey, stick around for next time. Do a little sub and, you know, tune in for a notification for the next round I do live. There'll be some more fun and some good shit going on. And if anything, I always like to consider myself like a breath of fresh air, you know, for some people when it comes to scrolling for those lives. I will say that. So. This mod's coming to you straight from the shower. Nice. Wasn't sure if anyone needed to know that though. But idiot. Don't care if I say I don't worry about it, you're fine. And how time do you live life in? All of it. But with that being said, I'm gonna list Toodaloo for now. Unfortunately. But wait, what? You ain't from the South? Hush him out. You sound like you're from one of the states. I mean, I got family that was raised in the South, and I've been there before, but I'm not born or raised in the South. No, I'm from the PNW. I don't claim to be from the South at all. Got a little garnish of it for sure. Got a little bit of that in the stew of my, you know, my background. But it's not like, you know, it's not my identity. Just enough a little bit because I got family from there. But anyway, like I said, gonna toot out for the, yeah, Jesus Christ. Toodaloo for now. All that good shit. And we all see you on that next one. So peace the fuck out until then, bitches.